Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of November 20th, 2019, last week before Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's a fairly sizable week this week, so let's get right into it. First up, we have American Gods, The Moment of the Storm, number 7. This continues basically the end of the American Gods comic book adaptation of the novel. I've enjoyed it so far. I'm excited to finish it up. It's been going on for so long. I don't even remember when it started. Next up, we have Year of the Villain, the Black Mantis for Aquaman 54. It's one of the acetate covers, so of course it does the flap. It's very poofy, but I'm still sticking with Aquaman. For a while there, I wasn't sure, but I'm sticking with it for now. So we'll see. Next up is a Batman 83. This and 2 more issues will finish off Tom King's run through Batman. And then we'll get Batman and Catwoman. So yeah, getting close to the end of Tom King's run. It's kind of bittersweet. I'm super stoked that it's ending, and I'm super sad that it is. So yeah, torn. Next up, we have another giant, and that's a 100-page Batman Giant number 2. These are great for $5. You get a bunch of some old content and some new content. So they're a decent investment, especially if you just want a spattering of something to read. I enjoy them. Next up, we have Batman Superman number 4. We're continuing on with the Year of the Villain stuff with all of the acetate covers and the infected stuff that's going on. So curious to see where Batman Superman takes us. It is a continuation from the Batman Who Laughs miniseries, which we all know where that spawned out of. So yeah. Next up is a Batman White Knight Presents. It's a Black Label book, and that is Von Freeze. So we're going to take a look at Sean Murphy giving us some Mr. Freeze action in his White Knight universe. Next up is Bloodshot number 3 from Valiant. I've been enjoying it so far. It's okay. It hasn't really gone anywhere with the first 2 issues, so I'm a little hesitant. But overall, I'm enjoying it. But again, Valiant does an okay job of just being a solid, good book or manageable book. Very rarely do they get one. I'm just like, ugh, I'm done. Next up is a Dial H for Hero number 9. Just a fun, quirky book that speculators should be all over because it has the first appearance of like a ton of new people. It's fun. It's just it is whatever it is. I like the Dial H concept, and so yeah, I'm gonna keep going with it. Next up is issue 3 of 6 in Flash Forward, following Wally West after the aftermath of Heroes in Crisis. So we'll see what happens with that. It's been an okay thing. It introduced that Tempest Fugit guy who keeps popping up in the Tales of the Dark Multiverse books, which are fantastic. You should really check those out. They're really good. I've really enjoyed the Nightfall one and the Death of Superman one. Those 2 have been the best. The Blackest Night one was okay, but I definitely preferred the other 2. Death of Superman might have been my favorite. So if you haven't checked those out yet, you really should. They're solid. Next up is one for my daughter, and that's Frozen True Treasure number 1. This apparently is a lead-up book into Frozen 2, which I believe is out Friday, so it's not like this is going to spoil much, so that's good. Don't know if I'm going to be able to take my daughter to see Frozen 2. We'll see. Fingers are crossed, but who knows. Next up is a facsimile edition, not necessarily the one I wanted them to produce, but nevertheless I understand why they did. And that is Green Lantern from the 1960 run, I believe. And that is Green Lantern 85. It's when it's found out from Green Lantern number 85, where Green Arrow finds out that Arsenal is a junkie. So yeah, honestly, really solid book. I read it in collected format in the Green Lantern Green Arrow collected version. Really good stuff. Next up is an infected book, and that's in the Infected Scarab. So I'm going to check out what happens with Blue Beetle there and why he's infected. But I enjoyed the Shazam one. I thought that one was cool. So yeah, Infected seems to be an interesting story arc coming into with Year of the Villains. So yeah, we'll see. Next up is a Justice League 36. These just keep coming out and coming out and coming out. Probably because Snyder and Tyrion IV have been teaming up, but Snyder's doing a fantastic job with Justice League. Really great stuff. Can't wait to see what happens with the Doom Justice War and everything happened after that with the Year of the Villain and how everything kind of hopefully gets back to some semblance of a norm. Next up, we have one by Dan Didio, and that's Metalman and number 2. This says it's going to be 12-issue maxi series. We'll see. I did enjoy the first issue. It was good, so I'm going to keep going with issue 2. But a lot of times those maxi series sometimes don't stick. Next up is another one from a new one from a Black Label, and a very popular one, especially at Comics Conspiracy. We basically sold out of almost all our copies, I believe, today on Wednesday. And that's The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Bill Shikinsky. I butchered the name. I know, I'm horrible. But yeah, looking forward to that one. Definitely on my list. I have been horrible at reading them. My pile of them is right here, standing up, because they're just big. I'll get to them, okay? Next up, we have Raw or Ray number 1, starting this one over again, coming out of, oh God, what was that? I came out of the last miniseries. I don't remember what the name of it was. But yeah, curious to see where that goes. It's basically Valiant in the future. So, and next up is Roku number 2. Again, the bad girl from Ninja K or Ninjak's book has her own, and she's tearing up and just causing mayhem. Issue 3 of Something is Killing the Children is out this week. I really enjoyed the first issue and the second issue of this book, so I can't wait to see where we go with issue 3. But a really, really solid book from Boom. Boom has been getting a lot of attention lately, especially with Something is Killing the Children and a bunch of books that have come out. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. There's some pretty good titles coming from Boom right now. Next up is Supergirl number 36. She gets an acetate cover there, so we'll see what happens. Maybe she's infected, maybe she's not. We'll see. Next up is a book that we were shorted a few weeks ago, and we finally got it back in, and that's Superman Up in the Sky 5. This is Tom King's stuff that he wrote for the Walmart books that came out, the giant-sized ones that came out last year. I've really been enjoying Up in the Sky. It's solid, really good. If you haven't had a chance to check, I recommend checking it out. Next up is Teen Titans number 36. Crush is in Lobo and all that family drama stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's okay. Adam Glass has done a good job on Teen Titans. I'm curious to see where he's going to take the team. But a lot of strife, a lot of animosity, and who knows what's going to happen after Year of the Villain. So, and finally on my pull list is Wonder Woman Come Back to Me number 5. The Jermaine Palmiotti, Amanda Connor Wonder Woman book from the giant size that were exclusive at Walmart. So that's collecting them up there. I did pick up some variants this week. The first one is for Batman 83. I snagged that one up right there. There's one for Batman White Knight presents Von Freeze, so I decided to snag that one up. Flash Forward 3 had a good one, so decided to get it. There's Tempest Nougat, or Fugit, or whatever his name is. I liked the evil, doomish Justice League there with Justice League 36. Shane Davis, or is this? Yeah, this is Shane Davis. Is this Shane Davis? Yeah, looks like Shane Davis. I don't know that art, but I thought the Metalman cover was pretty cool, so I snagged that one up. Of course, Supergirl had the Art Germ-esque. I don't even know if this is Art Germ or not. There's like a Art Germ and Art Germ clone out there. So, but yeah, had to pick that one up. Of course, there was a variant for The Question, the Black Label book, so I picked that one up as well. And that's it for the variants that I picked up. I did pick up 2 graphic novels this week. The first one was from a few weeks ago, but I finally decided to pull the trigger on it, and that is Flash, 80 Years of the Fastest Man Alive, mainly because this has the first appearances of Barry, Jay, and Wally, and also a copy of reprinting of Showcase 4, and a bunch of other great Flash stuff. So I decided to pick it up, snag it, because yeah, it's good stuff. And then there is the Kill or Be Killed Deluxe Edition. This collects the entire Kill or Be Killed series in one nice edition, and it's only $50. So definitely well worth the money on this. There's a bunch of extras in here and so on and so forth. But Kill or Be Killed was a great series by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, with art by Sean Phillips. Check it out. It's solid stuff. And finally, I did have one item on my read list, and that is Once and Future number 4. Again from Boom. I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun, so I had to borrow that one and check it out. That's it for this week's poll list. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle's @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode number 428, where we answer some Patreon listener questions, and we interview Matt Singer, who's the managing editor over at Screen Crush. Go check him out on there. His articles are really cool. But he wrote basically an amazing Spider-Man like history of Spider-Man from amazing to spectacular. It's out now. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check that out and pick one up for yourself. But really had a great interview with Matt, so check it out. There's a link in the description podcast as well. Yeah, if you want to help me out or my fellow conspirators, go to patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and yes, getting products. So thank you very much to all of our Patreon backers. It helps out immensely, and we couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you very much. You can help me out a little more directly by going over to conspiratorbrock.com and clicking on any of the Amazon links there or any of the Amazon links here and buying stuff through there. Even if it's not the thing that you buy and you find something and when you shop, I still get a cut. So thank you for those that help out that way, as well as my eBay page. Check that out. It's in the description below. I need to get going, and so guess what? I will see you next week.